Combine on the air. Thanks for tuning into Instagram Growth Podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all of the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best Instagram marketer that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Instagram Growth Podcast. Today, I'm hosting another great interview episode dedicated to social media marketing. My guest for today is Michael, who is joining me from Germany. So hello, Michael, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Anna, and nice to be here, and thanks a lot for the invitation.
Yeah, thank you. So tell me a few words about yourself. Where are you from? What is your area of interest? What do you do in life?
So I'm actually from Germany, and I'm also working now but I'm working in Germany for an Italian company. I'm online marketing manager for Pirelli, for the German subsidiary, to be precise, because it's like split in different markets, and I'm responsible here for all, let's say, digital activities in the German-speaking area. So Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. These are my fields of activity, so to say.
Okay, so mostly you are working online.
Exactly. Actually, all my daily business life is related to standard, let's say, online campaigns like display and search, obviously, which is one pillar of our marketing activities and strategy. And of course, and this is getting more and more important, we have the social channels where we are focusing on Instagram and Facebook. And maybe most people don't know, but here in Germany, Pirelli has a different brand, another brand. It's called Metzeler, which is an old, very traditional German motorcycle tire brand. This is also an information I really need to share, because most of the people will know Pirelli as its supplier of the Formula One, and I guess many of the customers or car drivers had some contact to Pirelli before, because it's like also standard equipment or OEM for more expensive cars, luxury cars, supercars, and so on. But you also get it on the normal cars, and with let's say standard tires. And this is actually my part. Pirelli also produces motorcycle tires, and is also a supplier here in the World Championship, in the Superbike World Championship. And this is actually my field of work and activity. Everything that is like motorcycle and motorcycle tire related in regards of Pirelli and Metzeler on the German-speaking market. This is where I'm active at.
Okay, and how come that you're working in that sphere? So should you have kind of technical education in order to promote these motorcycle tires?
No, I think it's more my personal interest. Actually, I did something completely different when I went to university. I studied geology, so actually some nature science. And actually also really liked it, because it's a very interesting field to do some research, and also like to be able to work in this area. So you could go to oil industry, for example, or anything that is water related. But since I was a young guy, I always had like motorcycles on my mind. So I think my grandfather was the inspiration back then. He was the one who had at the age of 12, I think it was, on the small bike. And from that day on, I really was addicted and hooked, and I always had the idea one day in my life I would like to be part of this industry, part of this branch. And after my studies, I did let's say a short excursion to sales and was working for Staples Advantage. I think most people will have heard of Staples. Is the biggest office supplier in the world, and I did some sales there in like B2B, in the B2B area, in the B2B sector. And then there was some first contact to the online business, and I decided, okay, as I did the geology thing, and then went to sales, which is completely different. But I had the opportunity.
Absolutely.
But I had the opportunity to do that. Me and some friends decided, hey, come on, let's like create a business. Found a database or an employer branding platform, online platform, so that like young professionals or students who would like to do an internship can go to and search for like companies that might be interested in their education, because you might know it's not necessary or it's not a must to be in the sector. Or to work in the sector you did your like degree in. For example, like a physician could go without any issue to an insurance company to do some calculating and risk management or something. But,
of course.
But would not be the first approach. So we decided, okay, let's get the companies and those interns or young professionals together. Yeah, and that was my step to the online business. And then it was like, let's say, some kind of development. Always the idea of the motorcycle in the background, and the growing love to online marketing and online business. And after we unfortunately did not succeed with the startup, I started to work again in the online marketing business, or in the online business for a Russian games developer, Gaijin Entertainment. And this was, let's say, the first step to real online marketing, and also in a very interesting sector, in a very interesting branch. Gaming is like, let's say, the seed of all now ongoing, let's say, social and influencer marketing activities, at least in my understanding. So this was a very important phase of my development. And after 3 years at Gaijin, I shifted to One&One Ionos, which is a German web hosting company. And then after another 2 years, I finally made the step to combine online marketing and my first love, motorcycle, and switch to Pirelli.
Okay, so now it is absolutely the thing that you really like to do, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's it actually could not be better, because those two things that are, let's say, the most important in my life, most interesting and most inspiring at the same time, the online business, online marketing, and motorcycle on the one hand, or anything that is motorcycle related on the other hand. It's like, for me, perfect fit, perfect combination.
Yeah, that's cool. This is the most important thing, when you really love your job, when you love what you're doing, so you're never tired, you're never bored, and this is what you're doing every day, and this inspires you. Yeah.
Exactly. I think you got a good point here. If you have a job, you only need to do to get the money. Obviously, you need vacation, because it's much more exhausting than doing something that you really, really like, and wake up every morning and have the chance to, the opportunity and the luck to go to a desk or a job or an office where you really can do what you want to do anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking now, so I personally have some ideas about how to promote, for example, services like Combine Growth or our Combine Scheduler. I know how to promote some physical items or some products, but motorcycle tires. So how do you ever promote it on social media? Do you have some challenges?
Yes, actually, it's quite challenging because the product itself is, let's say, very unsexy. If you think about like having a hobby or I don't know, for some people it's shopping, it's clothes, for others it's gaming. Another group really prefers, I don't know, nice food and so on. And if you consider all these different areas, you can always like promote them and create nice content around it. Because if you have, let's start with the last point. If you have a nice meal, you can like arrange it very, very attractive and make some nice photos of it. And exactly, it will be stylish and it will be literally an appetizer. And if you have like gaming, for example, you can use some very nice or action related scenes from the game, or some nice animated images and so on. And it's always, let's say, attracting. But the motorcycle tire, it's always round. It's always a black circle, and everything around this item is like attractive. So you have the motorcycle, which is very appealing to everyone. You have, if you are in the sports sector, you have these cool helmets and the very, very let's say very nice and maybe sexy and very attractive gear, like with different colors, perfect tailored leather suits and so on. With that could be, if it's like nice combined, perfect fit to the bike. So the gear, the rider, and the bike, it's always a very nice combination. And especially if you have a look on platforms like I don't know, say TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and so on, that are very visual platforms. This will always be the thing that you have on your mind at first, and that like actually catches all the attention. And then somewhere on the edge, of the lower edge of the image, you have something black, which is the motorcycle tire. So it's not that easy. It's not that easy to promote. And there's another point. The level of the performance level of this item is actually quite high, no matter from which company or which brand you purchase it. So the standard user, let's say 90% of the standard user, will not be able to feel or distinguish two different tires due to their different behavior. So you have it. I'm in a comfortable position with Pirelli because we really have high performance and outstanding quality material and outstanding quality tires. But the level is so high that you actually need some, let's say, some kind of professional rider to really feel the difference. And yeah, so this is like the challenge to find a way to promote this, let's say, visually unattractive product in an environment where you are not able to feel the difference between the products. And in addition, that's another point. As the difference is existing but so small, you really need to have experts and let's say somehow technical people to be able to describe what's the benefit of this particular product. So if I go back to Instagram marketing or influencer marketing in particular, it's not only it's not the easy way to get like the biggest player and that give him the money and let's make some images of this and think, okay, this will work. You really need to have a deep look or a deeper look at the potential partners to analyze, okay, in which, like say, motorcycle or part of the hobby they are active in, which is or are the topics of the channel. So is it only lifestyle, so to say, or is there a more technical approach or a more racing approach, a more professional approach? And then another challenge for us in this environment is, as mentioned, we have a global brand, but we are only in charge of a regional market. So we are only in charge of the German-speaking market. And there's different accounts of the different brands, so Pirelli and Metzler. So there's very, very good, or there are very good channels and partners with lots of potential, but maybe they're only strong on the Italian market or an English-speaking audience. But this is not what we're looking for. So we are, let's say, in a niche, which makes it very challenging to promote these kind of products.
Yeah, you're doing a great job because you are facing these challenges every day and you're going through them. So I wish you only good luck in your online marketing. I'm sure you're using different platforms or different social media websites for promoting your products. So what are they?
We are actually focused on three, which are Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Twitter is only managed by our global account. As the topic we are in is more, let's say, hobby and leisure time related, Twitter is not the let's say, the first choice for marketing our products. But Instagram and Facebook are, let's say, the main pillars. And we also need to have both because, and here it comes to another very particular point in our branch, so to say, in the motorcycle environment. At least here in Germany, it is that we have a huge age variety. So the young starters usually have first contact, let's say, at the age of 15 or 16. And then they are very, very active until the age of, let's say, 25 to 30. So this is, let's say, the Instagram community, the Instagram target group. And then there is usually some kind of gap where the former motorcycle rider starts a career, gets married, and maybe builds a house. So the hobby decreases, or the not the hobby itself decreases, but the amount of riders decreases, and the hobby gets less, let's say, less interesting for a while. And then we have the let's say, the second spring, that with the age of 45, 50 to 50, and then we get a huge target group again that is much older than the Instagram audience. And this is the reason why we really need to target the Facebook people, because this is actually their environment from 45 to 65. This is like the second group, this second big part we need to take care about, and they are we can contact them preferably on Facebook.
Okay, and what about YouTube?
YouTube is for us also a platform that is like managed by our headquarter, and this is let's say related to one also a big challenge, because we need market specific content. And as we are, let's say, a premium brand, we also need like high quality content on the different platforms,
of course.
And also on YouTube. And as you might know, it requires a huge effort to produce this kind of content, especially video content. And since we are, let's say, a bit limited in terms of budget and resources on the different regional markets, there is some content, that is usually product related. So if there is a new product launch or huge events and so on, there will be video footage, video content about it, but it's not for, let's say, daily use. So there's, let's say, all 4 to 8 weeks, there will be some content, but it's not our focus platform.
Okay, so not your priority.
Not on our end. This is a bit different when it comes to user-generated content, obviously. So it's not that important when it comes to our own account, but when it comes to collaborations and Instagram influencer campaigns and partnerships, obviously in this area, especially as the product itself is, as mentioned earlier, let's say a bit hard to communicate, hard to explain what the benefits are, and not that easy to communicate. The YouTube content generated by our partners or by our audience is a very, very important point for us, obviously.
Yeah, okay. So I'm sure that on Facebook and Instagram require much time and effort to promote your products within these social media websites. And you as an online marketing manager surely have different content strategies for both, for Facebook and for Instagram. So can you tell me what content strategy do you use for Facebook and for Instagram? What is the difference between them?
One of the major differences is, I guess, the tone of voice on the one hand, because if we have, let's say, visual content like images or video, we try to use it on both platforms, but the way we talk about it is a bit different on Instagram and on Facebook. Like mentioned, we have the young audience, the young target group on Instagram. So we also have a more, let's say, leisure time and hobby-based way of communication. So we obviously adapt the tone of voice of the platform in our communication in terms of posts and captions, obviously, and also in the communication when it comes to private messages, for example. It's a bit different on Facebook. Here we are a bit, let's say, more polite and adapt our tone of voice and the wording and the captions to the audience we are talking to on Facebook and on this platform. So this is actually the major difference, because we have this different target group, we have this different, or we have this particular age distribution, but nevertheless, this is what I also mentioned earlier. It's still a hobby, a leisure time environment, and what is attracting to the young audience, for example, Ducati motorbikes with lots of horsepower and cool styling and racetrack action. This also works in the environment of Facebook and the older audience and older target group. Obviously, there is, let's say, a bigger focus on commuting, for example, or traveling with motorbikes. That is not that relevant in the young target group. But in general, it's the content itself is attracting to both groups, and this helps us obviously because we save some time because we're able to use most of the content on both platforms.
And that's cool because, many people that come to my webinars, they often say I just don't know what should I do with my Instagram marketing. So what should I post? I don't have ideas. I don't have kind of imagination for that. So do you have some kind of these challenges on Instagram, some problems with content creation, so you don't know what to post, or you have some other challenges like engagement challenge or something like that?
Yes, of course. and I think you need to have a look at the let's say the kind of Instagram account or social account you are running. So if you have a corporate account like we have for our two brands, Metzler and Pirelli, you definitely need a different approach than someone who's running like a one-man business or a private account, and maybe have the goal to become, let's say, to get more awareness, to grow the channel, and to become an influencer and or opinion leader or content creator with a huge audience. So there is like these 2 points you need to distinguish, and we are in the good position as we have like two big and well-known brands that are that there is already some connection to the brand of Metzler or the brand of Pirelli. Most of the people either heard of the brand or they are even using our tires already. And as like I mentioned earlier, as the products are on a very high level, obviously their experience is in most of the cases extraordinary and on a high level also. So there's already some kind of positive connection to the brand. And since we are active in motorsports, for example, we do with Metzler, we are focusing on road racing. I don't know if you heard about Isle of Man TT racing, which is one of the most dangerous, but also most spectacular motorcycle racing events in the world. So this is an environment we are active in, and we have this world championship on racetracks with the Superbike World Championship. So we have the brand, we have the good products, and we also have these, let's say, heroes of our target group. So we are sponsoring some of the riders, and this helps us to create content on the one hand, and there's another important point. As there's this positive connection, people are keen on the opportunity to be part of our channel. And now we come to the point I'm actually aiming for, which is user-generated content. That is a huge pillar for us, and due to the let's say status of our brands, also quite easy to generate. So one of our strategies, I need to remember, I need to mention again, this is important for, or more easy for corporate accounts and big brand accounts. The people would like to be shown in our environment. So one part of our strategy is looking for cool user-generated content, following influencers and big motorcycle accounts, getting in contact with them, and obviously also ask them if we can share nice videos or images that were created by them. So we have the opportunity and the benefit of nice content, and on the other hand, we have, let's say, a happy user that is featured on our platform. And it is, in this case, it's not the size of the partner, so to say, is not important, because on the one hand, there's lots of, let's say, micro or small influencers who really create nice content and need to be featured. And we offer with our brand channels the opportunity to grow their awareness and their coverage and their reach. And like mentioned earlier, we have the benefit that we have some nice content related to our brands, and also a nice topic we can talk about. And like mentioned earlier, it's a bit different if you run only a small account or a private one and try to grow, because you need to you need to be much more active. You need to communicate much more. You obviously need to invest much more time to create like appealing content. And in this case, there is some, let's say, some similarities, because as we need to do some research in our environment on the social platform, so have a look. Okay, what's let's say the topic of the week? Which are the leading accounts? What are interesting hashtags? And yeah, which content is growing at the moment to be in contact, and maybe start some corporations or get access to this kind of user generated content. This is actually the same for the small account, because obviously in the end you need to do as a private account or a small account, you need to create the content yourself, but you also need to know, okay, what is it that the people are talking about, which kind of hashtags they are using, what let's say what kind of image design is trending at the moment, which kind of story challenge is going on at the moment. So here we also have some similarities when it comes to comparison between our corporate approach and our corporate accounts and to small accounts. And one more thing is important, and this is like crucial for everyone out there running a social account. Keep on posting, keep on doing, and do it on a regular basis. And actually, at least in my opinion, there is no limit in terms of sharing content if you share good content.
Yeah, valuable one.
Exactly. So we always try to not to entertain, but also generate some benefit, which is also one important point. So if you're out there and run a business account or a corporate account, don't spam users with like marketing messages or only corporate or brand related content. We need to entertain. This is a very, very important thing. And really, let's say, marketing and brand or content related. So content related in terms of related to products and so on, and or product benefits, product features. This shall only be a small portion of the communication. So we try to do, let's say, 80 to 90% of our content with the entertainment approach, and only 10, 15, max 20 that is really, really related to communication about particular products.
And you were talking about posting. So you think that if you share some valuable, interesting, entertaining content, that you should post and post and post. So what is your frequency of posting on Instagram? Stories and posts?
Stories is definitely related to events and special activities. So if we're on exhibitions, we usually try to post as much as possible. Again, if it's worth posting. So if we do some posts, it always shall generate some benefit. So share some information, remind our audience that there is some event or some, interview, live stream, and so on going on. Then share some information about products if you're on an exhibition and or some presentation where some new products presented. So this depends on events and activities. So throughout the week, there's usually focus on timeline posts, and here we try to post at least once a day. So if we follow our standard strategy, it's one post in the evening, If there is something more to communicate, there will be an additional post in the morning, but at least once a day, we will share some content in our feeds.
So everyday presence.
Everyday presence, yes.
Okay, do you have some maybe scheduling resources for your Instagram, or maybe some other useful resources that helps you to stay tuned for Instagram marketing?
We use usually our mentioned earlier, our research on the social networks itself. Then we use if we gathered the recording content, we use the scheduling function, obviously, which is important for us because, like you can imagine, if you have a corporate account and you try to find a balance between the let's say standard content and brand related content, you need to plan in advance. So you need to have a proper schedule that goes ahead maybe 2 to 4 weeks to be able to find the right mix and get the right combination of like interesting and entertaining content and the brand related content. And obviously, like mentioned, which is important for us here is the opportunity to have the chance to schedule posts and stories, which makes work life a lot of much more, let's say, streamlined and easy, because it's, for us, the job is not only social marketing, but we're also responsible for the website and the standard online marketing campaigns. So we need to take care that throughout the day, the social marketing and the social activities do not take that much resources, and something that also needs to be considered in this case, as we have this particular kind of product, and as we are a well-known brand, there's a lot of user inquiries coming in via comments and direct messages that we also need to take care about. So we really need to plan ahead. So what will be the content of the next week or the next days, and also create slots throughout the day that are like fixed only for user inquiries and to be able to react properly and like give the right answers and maybe direct inquiries and questions to our support and so on.
I'm sure that all of these resources or some apps that can help you with Instagram marketing. So if you have these apps, you should use them, because as our developers say, if you can automate something, then just do it, because it saves really much time, much effort that you can spend on some other things, some things that are more important for you at the moment.
Exactly.
Okay, and what is your most favorite part of your daily job, of your day? So what do you like to do the most?
To be honest, I really like the creational part of the job. So as mentioned earlier, it's easy or not easy. It's obviously also challenging, but it's easier, so to say, if you have some content that was provided or generated by your audience or some brand and some fans. But thinking about, especially when it comes to stories and maybe also designing the right setup for product images or images we need and what to use for our posts. This is really something I really like, because you have the creative aspect. So I don't know how we shall arrange the perfect image setup, and then you do maybe the photography and or the filming. And then you also need to, let's say, find the right caption or create the right caption to make it 100%. And this is something I really like because it's every day.
It's rather challenging, by the way.
Exactly, it's every day a new challenge. And something I also really like is like the direct contact to our customer, because this is, like also mentioned earlier, you are every day, let's say almost 24/7, because if it doesn't matter if you are a brand or a company, the user itself will treat you like any other Instagram or Facebook account around, and they used to write you like Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and Friday night at 2 a.m. Or on let's say Tuesday afternoon. It doesn't matter. There's always communication, and you're always let's say first point of contact. Obviously, most of the brands, they have like contact forms or support emails and maybe some, I don't know, live chat or a chatbot on the website. But most of the inquiries, they at least for us, they are generated via the social platforms, and so you're always in contact with your customer, and you can feel what's important out there, and what are the issues, and maybe also what they're happy with, and this is really a nice part of the job.
Okay. Your story and your interview, I think, is really inspirational for those who are just starting on Instagram and who are just sitting and thinking, oh my God, I will never succeed on Instagram. My niche is so special. I don't have a clue about how to promote it because it's so strange. Like it's so unusual, like motorcycle tires. So who could ever think that it could be promoted via Instagram? So I think that your story and the things that you told us today is something that can inspire our listeners who are just sitting and thinking that way to go and to start an action. And the most important thing about all of this is that you should really like what you're doing. And then you will absolutely succeed. So how can my listeners learn about your services, about something that you offer? How can they contact with you online?
Yeah, there is obviously our social channels. So there is Pirelli Moto on Instagram, and there's Metzler Moto on Instagram, which are the corporate global accounts. And if there is some listeners from Germany, we also have Metzler Motorrad and Pirelli Motorrad, which are the German-speaking accounts. And obviously, if there's fans of Facebook, it's the same there. So we have Metzler and Pirelli on Facebook. The German version is Pirelli Deutschland and Metzler Deutschland. So feel free to visit out there, leave a comment or question, feedback maybe. So if you heard this podcast and would like to share your thoughts and so on, feel free to share your thought there, because it will end up on my end for sure. So you're invited to do so. And obviously we have like the Pirelli and Metzler websites where you also can find some information about the products, about the racing series, and everything that is related to the brand.
Okay, I will include all of these links that Michael just said to the description episode, so guys, check it out after the end of the episode. Michael, what message would you like to leave my listeners with?
I hope you heard that it's a very, very nice like environment and business we are working in. And I'm not talking about the motorcycle branch, but the online marketing and the different social platforms. And yeah, there's still so much potential, and I only can recommend go out there, use it, which is important. It's actually, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you like take your learnings. So social is developing that fast, so everything is still trial and error. There's obviously some things you really need to take care about, like mentioned earlier, create some content that creates benefits. Always have an eye on the quality, and always have an eye on your niche and your like competitors. There's still and always a lot of things you can learn, and they also will do the same. And yeah, don't think about the size of the channel, because it does not matter at all. If you have, I don't know how to say, if you're doing some manicure and you do it in a very, very nice way, and you run a local business, then this is not like say a deal breaker when it comes to social. You can create like a nice subscriber base and promotion base here anyway, and you don't need like 10,000 subs to be a successful social marketeer. It always depends on your environment and on your target group. So yeah, go out and do it. That's actually the message I can share.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for joining me and sharing your experience and sharing your story to the audience. I wish you good luck and success in all of your fields of your activity and online marketing and work in your company. So be successful. Just keep that mood. Thank you for inspiring us today. Goodbye.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks a lot for the invitation. Thanks, Comben, that you made this opportunity possible. And yeah, also thanks for your products. I use it on a daily basis, and this really helps to be successful. And thanks for the.
Thank you. Bye-bye. This is a podcast sponsored by Comben.com. Grow and manage your Instagram safely and organically with Comben Growth and Comben Scheduler. Instagram promotion is easy. Comben.com.